All right. I had to unmute myself. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. I'm so glad that you are here. I see you coming in. I see you, Dr. Perry. And those of you who are coming in, joining us on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Where else are we? I'm trying to expand to TikTok. We're going to do that soon. But welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Inspire. If you just stumbled crosshair and you don't know what this is about and who the hell I am, and let me tell you right now, I am Sue A. Webley. I'm the founder of Cara Solutions, a full digital service agency that helps individuals and organizations navigate the virtual space with confidence. And Inspire is a live interview style broadcast on a mission to encourage, empower, and embolden individuals to create change in their personal lives, their communities, and in the world. And as our guests, entrepreneurs, influencers, creatives, and others share their testimonies, tips, and tools with us. We hope that you are inspired to elevate your mindset, pursue your dreams, and to do, as the late Dr. Katie Geneva Cannon put it so eloquently, the work your soul must have. We are live right now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Again, I invite you to take this time to connect, like, follow, and subscribe. Let me put that up for you if you're just joining us. Connect, follow, like, subscribe. Connect, follow, like, subscribe. We're at Cara Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. We're at Cara Solutions on Twitter. And of course, you can always head over to the website at www.cara-solutions.com. I do want you to follow us on Inspire. So I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that I am expanding the scope of Inspire. Many of you know if you've been with me since the beginning. Can you believe Inspire is almost a year old? Next month, it will be a year old. I can't believe it. But if you follow me from the beginning, you often heard me say that I'm going to expand the scope of Inspire. So I want you to begin following at Inspire by Cara on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us also on Inspire by Cara on Facebook and Instagram. If you prefer to take it with you, if you want to catch up on all of our previous episodes, we are on Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And on Spotify, you can actually watch the video instead of just listening. But yeah, if you just want to take our previous episodes with you, you can do that. Just follow us and Inspired by Cara on all of those platforms. Once again, it's Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and on Spotify. So again, let me see who's joined us. Dr. Perry, I see you. You know the question I always ask, and the question I always ask the guests: what are you sipping on? What are you drinking this morning? What you got in your cup? Right? Is it some coffee? Is it some orange juice? You got a smoothie? You got some tea? You have water? What are you drinking? You got a little something strong in your cup? That's all right. That's all right. I ain't gonna judge you. It is evening time somewhere, but you know I got coffee in mine. Amen. Coffee in my cup. Listen, my inspired cup, my inspired change tumbler. Yes, I am traveling and it goes with me wherever I go. Inspired change. Of course, if you want, now I gotta put it up now. So if you want some inspired swag, you can go ahead to the website at www.cara-solutions.com. Get some cups and mugs and tumblers and all of that. And I gotta thank Sky Michelle Teas and Things. Let me take this banner down. Sky Michelle Teas and Things for hosting Cara stuff since its inception, right? And so she is the kid boss, and I want you to follow her at I am Sky Michelle on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also head over to her website at www.skymichelle.com. She has customization available. I need you to go hit up the kid boss and support her, support Black businesses. So I'm so grateful for Sky Michelle's Teas and Things for hosting my swag. Let me see what you got there. Hey, Dr. Perry is drinking some light coffee. What you got in the coffee, Dr. Perry? I want to know what you got in the coffee. I have what I have in here: silk, sweet and creamy creamer. So it's non-dairy. The Silk brand is very good. It's very good. Oh, you drinking it black? Okay. All right, Dr. Perry. Nothing in your coffee. Hey, sis. Hey, Allie. And your Bustelo is brewing. Listen, Bustelo will keep you going for a week. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. There ain't nothing like that Bustelo. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I've had to give up. I know I've had some stuff in the past, right? Last time I said I was drinking decaf, y'all was coming for me in the comments, and I need y'all not to come for me. Okay, I don't know if this is decaf. My sister Tanya made this for me, so I don't know if it's decaf or not. But yeah, it's I got a little sister got a little heartburn, right? So I can't drink the coffee like I used to. But if you make decaf strong enough, it'll taste just like it'll taste like regular coffee. It'll trick my brain. So let me take a sip. Decaf. All right. So Ellie says they have decaf. I don't. I think Bustelo, you gotta. I don't know. I think that's heresy. Like if you drink a Bustelo, you got to drink it like the strong. You can't have decaf Bustelo. Yeah, I don't know about that. I might try it though. I might try it, but I don't know if it'll taste the same if they have decaf Bustelo. But as you are coming in, thank you for sharing me what you're sipping on. I want you to share. Do me a favor. Just give a big push. Listen, we have a phenomenal guest today, and I'm really excited about having Tasha on. Yes, Dr. Perry, Bustelo is supposed to be strong. You can't have no weak Bustelo. Listen, you can't have weak Bustelo. But I want you to share. I'm so excited about my guest this morning. And all of the things that she does, and she has such good. Hey, Joy, good morning, sis. This has such great energy, and listen, we work together at Rivers, and she was my co-director of the Youth and Young Adult Ministry there, and she is Tasha is doing the work that her soul must have. She is doing the work that she has been called to do, that she was created to do, and she's the perfect guest to have on Inspire, So we're going to get into her introduction because I got a lot of questions to ask her. Well, I don't know if we're going to get through it all, but it's just, she's such chock full of good things. I just wanted to get everything in. So let's get into her introduction. Again, I want you to go ahead and share this out with your networks. Share it on Facebook, share that YouTube link. If you're on Instagram, then share the flyer and put the link so people can watch it, so that we can get, so they could come and experience Tasha Michelle too. So Pittsburgh native Tasha Michelle is a singer, songwriter, actress, and children's programming visionary, now living in New York. She's an advocate for after-school programming and putting the arts back into all schools. In between touring as a performing artist, Tasha spends most of her time mentoring youth and young adults in the performing arts. She is also the proprietor of Beanbag Stories, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about her 2 books, and you will have an opportunity. Somebody say you're going to have an opportunity to give a book giveaway, okay? You're about to win a book today. She's giving away a signed copy. Somebody say signed from the author herself. A signed copy of each one of her books. So I want y'all to begin putting in the hashtag Inspire. Put that hashtag Inspire right now to enter the drawing. If it's not for you, go ahead and do it for a child in your life. Type that hashtag Inspire to enter the book drawing. But as we are going to keep that up for a while. Now, please don't put a space. This is the £sign and Inspire. Just no spaces, right? No spaces, because it would not pick you up. It won't pick up that you've written anything. But as we prepare, get this video ready. We prepare to meet Tasha. Let's take a look at her artistry and work, right? This is from her recent performance at 54 Below, singing Anymore, written by Crystal Winnie Hall. And I loved this performance, and I hope that you enjoy it too as we get ready to meet Tasha.
Take a little time to get into it. You never kiss me when you walk out the door. You don't
Good morning, Tasha.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see. I love that performance, and I love how you. I heard the audience chuckling because of course you like you talking to the person like you don't want
Yes,
to like
it
why
was
you.
all impromptu. Like we didn't rehearse that, and I just decided at the moment to kind of mess with the couple that was in front of me.
Well, like that energy just certainly came through. Thank you, Kai, for recording that. For us to use today. I know you didn't record it for us to use, but we were able to use it today as Tasha's introduction, and so I'm so grateful for that. How are you this morning, Tasha?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. First, let me say thank you for asking me to be here. I'm really excited about this, and I'm so proud of you and
Oh,
watching it grow. Congratulations. I know you said in a month you'll be a year. I can't believe it, but I've been watching you, and congratulations.
oh, thank you so much, thank you so much. Who would have thought, right, that I'd
Right.
be doing all of this kind of stuff, but I sometimes it takes some things. It takes something happening to break out gifts that you didn't even know you had inside of you out. And so,
Yes.
I'm grateful for this platform, and I get to share people like you with the Inspire audience. Remember, I see y'all putting that D at the Inspired. Take that D out because we want to make sure that you win the book. Okay, you want to start coming. So it's Inspire. Let me just put it up real quick for y'all again. Listen, I'm
Yay.
trying to help y'all. Inspire, pound inspire. So you can win a copy of this one. This is the first day, the first book, right? Saturday, my favorite day.
Yes.
I do not have the second one, but listen, it is. Go ahead and put that in so
Second
you
one.
can win.
Just
We're
give me
gonna
a second.
have we'll have a drawing. We'll have a real drawing. You'll get to see your name scroll on the screen and everything. Before we leave out of here. So what are you sipping on this morning,
Oh
Tasha?
my goodness. This morning I have my hibiscus tea with a little bit of lemon and pomegranate and some honey. Because if I didn't, I would be sounding like Barry White. So thank you for the cup.
And I love the cup. So I promise you, before I got on the plane yesterday, I said I, there was a particular shirt that I wanted to wear because I wanted to match your energy, and so I was like, it was my bright yellow T-shirt with love, the word love in it in sign language, and it was all different colors. I'm like, that is what I want to wear. So sure enough, I looked at my suitcase today. I'm just like, I didn't pack the shirt. It's sitting on my bed. But I sure enough intended to be all bright, light, bright today because because that is your energy. So thank you for sharing the cup because it was the same yellow. It just reminded
Yes.
me of the shirt that I don't have on. I'm not wearing. Uh, let's see what the people are saying before we get into this interview. Okay, all right, all the eyes. Yes, y'all got the hashtag down pack. All right. Hey, Trisha Turner. Hey, sis. It's good to see you. I see. Oh, hey, Tiffany Merrill. I see all of y'all coming in. I see
Hello,
all of you coming
everybody.
in. I see all of you coming in. Listen, as we are having this conversation, if you have any questions for Tasha at all, feel free to post them. And as time allows, I'm gonna make sure that she sees them so that so she can respond to your questions. So I appreciate the small bio because that means you get to talk about who you are. So tell us about you. Who is Tasha? We want to know everything, like what was growing up like for you, and if you can, while you're talking about that, if you can share some significant parts, or if it just be one significant part, right, of your journey. What parts of your journey growing up helped to influence who you are today
Absolutely.
in all of your identities?
Yes. So growing up, oh, there goes my mom. Mom, you came in right
Yay!
growing up, it was all about family. I really grew up in the importance of being around your family and laughing. My parents made everything a big deal. I mean, literally everything. If you were just going to the store to buy a pack of gum, because that's what you wanted for the day, leading up to that time going to the grocery store, like you talked about it for 3 hours. It's just a pack of gum, but it was so exciting by the time you got to it. We were a singing family. We're a silly family. Gatherings were important, and everything was an adventure with my parents. And I think that's why I grew up really with this childlike heart all of my life, because it was just an adventure. I had two siblings, two other younger sisters. So there were all women in the house except for my dad. So that in itself was always a thing. And it was just always about what we could do to uplift each other. And no matter what happened, no matter what hard conversations needed to be had, that you had them, because family was important and you always had to have each other. And so some of the significant things, I was a very sensitive kid. I was quiet for the most part and very sensitive. So, you know, being my parents being disappointed in anything that I did would crush me more than being on punishment, more than anything else would come. If my mother or father was, I'm disappointed and blah, blah, blah. Or if I had to take a test home and get it signed because the grade wasn't that great, literally I would cry all day, to the fact the teachers would think I was abused at home because I would cry all day. But the truth of the matter was, it was the fact that I knew my parents would be disappointed, and that meant a lot to me. And so, with my quietness, getting in contact with my music teachers are who kind of pulled me out of my shell and kind of introduced me to a world full of colors, which was, in music and in theater. And so I really say that my music teachers really saved my life, because as a very sensitive kid, sometimes there were emotions and things that I didn't understand, or depression that I would deal with at times and would go inward a lot. And so it was my music teachers that gave me the freedom and the safe space to kind of learn to explore myself. So my music teachers were a big, other than my family, were a big part of my growing up.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I see the people, I see Dr. Perez says Tasha shows her excitement about life.
Oh, thank you.
You certainly do. It really is infectious. It really is infectious. We are also grateful that you share yourself with us.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for sharing some of that background of you growing up. We also know that you were an advocate, right, for after
Yes.
school programming and returning the arts to all schools. So, uh, in your opinion, and you can state statistics if you have them, right? What impact did the removal of arts in public learning institutions have on young scholars, and what changes would you like to see in the education system?
Okay, well, I'll first say removing any arts programs from public schools, any schools, it's devastating to me, because, as I stated, it was my music teachers and the arts that pulled me out of the shell that I was in and taught me a lot. And it teaches, especially those children who are still trying to find their place and who they are, it teaches so many different avenues of life, how to be social, how to problem solve. It's not even the fact that it's only for those who go into singing and the arts and writing books, but no matter what you do, whether you're a doctor, you learn how to socialize and have a heart for other people, and how do you deal with different personalities on your job. So when we take those away from our school, we're taking away a big chunk of the curriculum of what we learn, every single day. And so, for me, it's important, and working with Broadway Inspirational Voices, it was important for me to link with them to be able to put these programs back into the schools. Even if the school could not afford it, what can we do so that we can at least get it back into the schools while the system is figuring out what's happening? Let's not let the next 10, 15, 20 years go by and there's no arts in the schools, because that's not gonna work out well for
Yeah.
any of us in society.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's a great segment into this question about Broadway inspirational voices. So tell us a little bit. So you are the director of arts and education, yes?
I am,
For
yes.
and congratulations. I remember when you made that announcement. I'm like, yes, Joshua.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I'm really excited about that. So you talk about the work that you are doing as with Broadway inspirational voices. What are some of the specific programs that you all are creating for the community?
Oh man. So our founder Michael McElroy started a program with the Ronald McDonald House. where we take the families that are living in Ronald McDonald House and we pair them up with Broadway composers and they get to meet them. And we do sessions where the composers write specific or tailored songs just for that family, after they get to meet them and learn a lot about them. And so we have a whole performance, and sometimes we make videos, which we've done through COVID, music videos where they get to see professionals create songs and videos or do live performances that are tailored just for them. And it gives them a moment to get out of the things that they're dealing with day to day, all of the medical issues and things that they're dealing with, and how music can be healing, and it gives the family a chance to have that moment. Right now, we're working in LaGuardia High School, where our mentorship programs, which I'm excited because this is one of the programs that I actually had a chance to create with another member of BIV. And mentoring is just going into schools and teaching performing arts and choirs. And so we're with LaGuardia High School now, working with their gospel choir. We've been working on a 7-week program. And next week, we're getting ready to get to the end of that program and be a part of the LaGuardia High School gospel concert.
Wow.
And BIV choir will be performing with the LaGuardia High School choir together, and they'll be doing some songs together. We work inside of the Covenant House, where we do art sessions with them once a month, and we go in and we teach acting and dancing and singing. These programs are the things that keep our community locked together. And I think the best thing about these programs are we hear what's needed. So we don't just create programs and say, you need this type of program. No, we go in and say, what is it that you need in your facility? What are some of the social things that may be lacking? And then we create that through the arts and then bring it to their facilities. So it's great working with the community together and just, seeing what's needed and being able to provide it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I see all of you commenting. Listen, again, if you have any questions for Tasha at all, feel free to post them and I'll make sure they get to her. So you talked a lot, Tasha, about, in your responses about why or the importance of having these creative spaces and programs for children and young adults. So I want to get into your book. So let's talk about you as an author. Like this is such a natural. I wasn't surprised you was writing. I was like, it's such a natural progression, right? Into authorship, into writing. And so let's talk about BMX stories. In the first 2 books, the first one was Saturday, My Favorite Day, right? And the other one is Nobody Can Be Me. Why was writing these books necessary for you?
Oh my goodness. So first, going back to my family, story time was always another big deal. And my grandmother, it was just always a whole Broadway production when you read a story. So it was always embedded in me how fun they were and how much I paid attention to the lessons that were in the books because of how fun we made them. And so growing up, and even in pursuing all the other things in my career, I've always wanted to write children's books. I would literally spend time in Barnes and Nobles and go to Target section and spend time in the children's storybook and be so excited, like, oh, this is so great, this is so great. And then I would walk away and it was almost like a depression would come over me. And I didn't get it. I was like, I don't understand what's going on. And then I really zoned in and realized I'm supposed to be doing that and you're not. And so when I walk away from it, there's no part of me that's still left in it because I'm not doing it. And so I started to do it and realize that, yes, this is exactly the stories that are in my mind, the characters that are in my mind. It's important for our children to see us. It's important for our children of color, Black children, to be able to open up a book and say, that looks like my family, or that looks like me, or that looks like my cousin, and be able to be in a classroom and share their childhood just as much as we hear the stories, of other cultures. What is exciting about it is that we need to normalize that though this is not your family, this is something that happens every day. It's not anything different. It's just the family that I come from. So that is really important to me.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about your writing process, right? About, actually sitting down and write, and you talked about the characters that are in your head. So really want to know about Lyric, right? So how did you develop the character of Lyric, and what did you believe about her specifically that would resonate with young readers?
Yeah. Girl, because I'm crazy. I don't know. I was sitting down and I had the picture in my mind, and then I started going, girl, what you want to say? And girl, what should you? Well, I like Lyric. I had a friend whose daughter's name was Lyric, and I was like, that is so pretty. That might be really good for my book. So then I was just like, Lyric, what you want to say, girl? She was like, girl, I don't know. Let's start writing, and then that's how we go back and forth. But I really just zoned in on my childhood and the little girl that still lives in me, the little girl that still sees kids and really understands what they're talking about and what they say. A lot of my friends laugh at me because kindergarten and pre-K, like those are my people right there. I could talk to them all day long. 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. And so with creating Lyric, I wanted her to keep the inspiration that I still have in me, that no matter what I do, I try to be a light and I try to inspire, whether it's through my music or, even if it's just going to work a facility for a program, I want to be the light in the room. And so I envision Lyric as that little child that still has that light, that every room she walks into, I have a goddaughter, and every room that she walks into, she makes people smile. You can't have a bad day in front of her. You just can't. And so I took that energy as well, and a little bit of my energy, and said, so what happens when this little girl has different situations? What does her friends look like? What does she try to teach them?
Yeah. So if you joined us late, I did, when I did put up, I want you to see some of her friends.
Yes, it's the crew.
Yeah, so it's Lyric. That's Melody, Josh, and Camille.
Yes.
So those are Lyric's friends. So Dr. Perry has a question. She says, how successful has the book distribution been?
The first book I think did extremely well. And the second book did not do bad. It didn't do as well as the first book, but I think that also comes with the struggles of being an independent author, and that you distribute them on your own. I have to just keep making that pathway for myself, because I've spoken to distributors who distribute for Penguin Kids and big things, and all of their advice has been not to jump into that pool so fast right now. Really just keep building your brand and let them come to you, because you're going to have you're going to be able to negotiate better and have better contracts whenever they're seeking you out. And, the advice was, it is going to be frustrating. It is going to feel a little slow, but there is power in making your own path and really creating your own brand and getting it out there yourself before you bring in the big dogs.
Yeah. Thank you for that question, Dr. Perry. And that's excellent advice. Yes, Pastor Eunice, that is excellent advice. So I know that, she says, okay, so Allie says, have you tried to get them into private schools?
Child, I try to get them into everything that ends with schools, everything. And the way and the funny thing is, the way that works, because I am an independent author, is I need all my people. And that's what you guys have been doing. Most of the connections with schools that I've had have come from someone who says, hey, I want to connect you with this school because I think your book would be great in there. And that really it's the power of the people when you're an independent author, helping you to blast out your things that cost nothing. So there really is truth to, when you see one of your artist friends put something up, just blast it out, because word of mouth, especially in the Black community, will get you really far.
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much. We are going to take a quick break. You take a sip of water, take a sip of your tea, Tasha, and for those of you who are following along with us, you can go ahead and take a sip of whatever you're drinking on. We'll be right back with some more of Tasha Michelle.
If I fall behind on one more thing today, I'm going to call it quits.
Is your workload leaving you frustrated? Is overwhelm hindering your performance? Do you have too many to-dos on your to-do list? Call Kara. Just one phone call with a member of our team will have you feeling less pressured and more productive in no time. Our job is to make your job easier. Focus on your passion. Let Kara handle the rest. Hey yo, hey yo, hey! I'm so excited and enjoying this conversation with Tasha Michelle. I want to make sure that you are connecting, liking, following, and subscribing to Cara Solutions. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube at Cara Solutions LLC, and Twitter on Twitter for now at Cara Solutions. And of course, you can always head over to our website at www.cara-solutions.com to subscribe to our newsletter and to find out about all things Cara Solutions. I also want to make sure that you are following us. Do me a favor, follow us and Inspired by Cara on Facebook and Instagram. Want to get those numbers up, and we don't want you to miss anything that's going to be happening with Inspire. Some ways you can listen later, right? So if you missed the beginning of this broadcast, you came in late, you want to listen to all of our previous broadcasts, you can head over to Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. We are at Inspired by Cara on all of those platforms. And so we do ask that you follow us. And as you listen to our content, let me know. Send me a message. Tell me how you like it. Tell me what you want to see more of. So that I can do my best to accommodate you. All right. If you are an entrepreneur, influencer, creative, or other individual on a mission to inspire others like we are, we want you. We want you to be our guest. So you can visit us at www.cara-solutions.com. Don't forget that hyphen in the middle, y'all, because you'll go to a completely different site. So www.cara-solutions.com/inspire, or just simply send us an email at inspire@cara-solutions.com. If you know someone that is inspiration, that's motivating, and you feel that we could be a good fit to be in conversation with me on Inspire, let me know about them too. I would be more than happy to have them. Before we go back, I want to let you know that next week we're having a special hybrid Inspire. We're going to be in person at the Rivers UCC service in Jersey for Mother's Day, and we'll have a panel discussion talking about the traumas and the triumphs of Black motherhood. So we will not be live next week Saturday. We will be live next week Sunday, and more information about will be coming out about that this week. But I want you, if you can't join us in person in New Jersey, you can certainly watch us online. And come on, if you're a mother or a mother figure, listen. You are a mother to others, right? Let's talk about the traumas and the triumphs of Black motherhood. So we're gonna get back into our conversation with Tasha Michelle right now. No one's ready to deal with us. What? Hey, I always wish that was longer because I was like, yeah. Welcome back, Tasha.
Thank you.
Okay, how much are the books? Dr. Perry is asking.
So the books are different prices. The first book only comes in the hard copy, so that's $15 now. I think it was $20 and I took it down to $15. And I have two versions of Nobody Can Be Me. There's a hard copy, which is $20, and there is a soft cover copy, which is $10. So my point in making the soft cover the second time was to also help schools be able to afford them and to be able to buy them in bulk. So I did a soft copy this time.
Yes, and I've placed the link if you want to support. Of course, you'll be able to win a hard copy of each one of the books, right? Signed. Okay, for the author herself, right? You'll be able to win that today if you, of course, do the hashtag Inspire. Let me put that up again. Make sure you don't add that D at the end.
Don't
type
add the
type out. And no space in between the pound sign and Inspire to be entered into our drawing. But again, I placed that link inside of the audience chat if you want to go and support and purchase some books, right? Purchase some books for the children in your life, right? Purchase books and give them away, right? You got nieces and nephews and godchildren and stuff like that. They got birthdays and stuff coming up. Or if you just want to, just a just because gift, it's a good just because gift, right? Let's support Black business owners. Let's support entrepreneurs. Let's support Tasha Michelle today. Let me
Yes.
just make sure I'm not. Yes,
Thank
Richard Nelson
you.
said, "Forever inspired. Keep shining, Tasha."
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, so let us go. Let's talk about dreaming, right? Let's talk about dreaming. You had a dream of performing and singing and traveling and writing books, all of which you have accomplished, right? Do you think that societal norms and expectations can limit our ability to dream big? And if so, how can we break free from these limitations?
Absolutely. I mean, a little Black girl into Sondheim, theater, things like that. We didn't really get exposed to things like that. My bestie, who I grew up with, who is now a Broadway producer, we didn't grow up thinking that little Black boys could be Broadway producers, So there were no paths that were set to help us get to those places because they weren't just visual things that we saw all the time. And so sometimes we're steered in other directions that are more normal. And I think that again, because of my music teachers exposing me to certain things that maybe I would not have been exposed to, that then my eyes started to seek the path to get there. And I think that that's what helps us break out of those norms. First, check into you, and you have to find out what makes you happy. If
Mhm.
talking about being a Broadway producer or talking about being the top doctor at a certain hospital is what makes you smile and light up inside, then there's a path for you to get there. Whether or not it's a path that is very visible and you just got to follow the yellow brick road, or if you have to cut down some bushes first because there's a path in between the hedges. So you might have to cut that down a little bit. The pathway is there, but definitely society, uh, the what they say is not normal, definitely can hinder you. And again, that's why these books are important, especially for our children, to see that there are so many different facets that we can obtain.
Yeah, yeah. And so how can we encourage, how can those of us who are parents, who are grandparents, who are guardians, who interact and engage with children in one way, shape, or form, how can we encourage children? And we are unapologetically Black over here, Kara. So how can we encourage
Mhm.
Black children, right?
Right.
With all that's going on in the world and with so much uncertainty happening, in the
Right.
lives of our communities. How can we encourage them to pursue their dreams and aspirations?
Yeah, I think the first thing that we have to be careful not to do is to put our own fears and our own things that we didn't get a chance to accomplish for whatever the reason is, to not place that on them. Or the things that you don't like, that you make a decision that they're not going to like it either. So even if I'm not somebody, and I'm going to use the arts, that didn't frequent the opera, one of the things that I definitely want to do when it's time is to be able to take my goddaughter to the opera so that we can experience that. Just because that wasn't where my path led to, and I'm not as versed on it as I am on other things, that doesn't mean that she may not love it. So I say the best thing to do is listen to them, see what lights them up, and then encourage them to try so many different things, because you never know what just might stick. I thought I was going to be a child psychologist probably all the way until I was in 11th grade. And then this whole spark of the theater world opened up to me, and I was like, oh, well, actually. And if I were to go back and to do a different career, I probably would go back to child psychology. But if it wasn't for the fact that there were adults that opened up, a world to me that I didn't know about, we would have never discovered, and I would have never discovered that I loved it so much. So we just have to keep placing them in situations where they're trying something new and listening to what lights them up.
Yeah, I love what you said about not us not placing our our dreams, our hopes, and sometimes, especially a parent or a guardian, you tend to do that, right?
Mhm.
Because and I think also think it's generational, because I've seen that I guess younger parents or millennials and stuff like they're really great at
Mhm.
kind of pushing and letting their children kind of explore, right? and be
Mhm.
themselves and live fully into their to themselves, right?
Mhm.
Um, and but for the older generation, it's there's a lot of, because we want you to be successful. The arts isn't a thing that brings success. You know, you're not gonna make no money singing, but you'll make some money being a doctor or a lawyer. And if
Right.
you're from Yard, if you're from Jamaica, you know, it's not just Jamaica,
Right.
but I'm just saying. But this is the culture, right? That many of us are raised with, and so I love to see children being able to explore, seeing what works and what doesn't work. I love to see parents supporting. You know, okay, this is a gift, right? Let me see how I can expand that, right? And maybe it's not, maybe it's just for that time, right?
Mhm.
That, you
Mhm.
know, and it will lead and open up to something else. So I loved what you said about that.
Yeah, and
There's
I
a
would love to say that there's even a movement going on now, especially in the Broadway world, of Black artists learning that there are things beyond the stage, and so now we're really learning how to be producers, and you're going to start to see a lot of actors who we know from the stage who have won Tonys, who we see them often, that are now transitioning into directors and Broadway producers, because these other assets of the theater world just weren't taught to us when we were growing up. We knew we could dance, we knew we could sing, but no one said you could be the stage manager, or you could be the production manager, or you could be the vocal arranger. No one taught us all those other things that were a part of it as well.
wonderful, wonderful. I see questions coming now. I'm going to make sure we get that question before we end today. So how can, or before I talk about how we can all stay motivated and focused, what advice would you give to young people who are interested in pursuing a career in the performing arts or creative industries?
The first thing I would start by saying is I've never seen anyone chase a dream, really chase a dream, and do the work that goes into chasing it and not catch it. So no matter what happens, because everything's not going to fall into place when you want it to fall into place, don't stop chasing it. Do the work to catch it, and I promise you, you will definitely catch it. Now, the time duration and how long it takes, all of that is, different to the person and the journey that you need to take. But do the work, get your skill up, do what you need to do to be able to learn your skill, learn from the people around you who are doing better than you and going where you want to go. Surround yourself with those people to learn from them, to ask them questions. But no one is going to do your work for you. No one is going to mentor you to the fact that I'm going to mentor you and put you in a Broadway show, and that's how I'm going to mentor you. It doesn't work that way. Mentoring means that you're asking the questions, that you're asking, what work do I need to do? So put in the work, because it takes work.
Listen, I love that you haven't seen anyone who pursued their dreams that didn't catch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, do the work and catch it.
Yeah.
Listen, that's good. That's good for all of us, not just the young
Yes.
people. And so this leads to the question now about staying motivated, right? So this one is really for all of us, no matter what our ages are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we all have dreams, and even as you grow up into adulthood, and and beyond, like becoming an elder, right? We still have dreams. We still have things that we want to do and things that we want to accomplish. So how can we stay motivated and focused on our dreams even when we're faced with setbacks and challenges along the way? What are some tips for that, Tasha?
I think that's the first thing, is acknowledging that there are going to be some setbacks, and there are going to be some challenges, and there are going to be some absolutely horrible days where your goal is just not met, and it just feels like no matter what you're doing, you're not progressing to where you're trying to progress to. So if we acknowledge that that is also part of the journey as we start, if as we acknowledge that there are going to be those days, we're not surprised. Yes, that means, yeah, you get to take a day and be like, this isn't working, but that's not where you quit, because we knew this would happen. So we're building up our muscles as we prepare, and however you prepare for your journey, whether that's prayer for you, whether that's meditation, whether that's a certain song that you just listen to day by day, you prepare yourself for the entire journey. And then you enjoy the process of the journey and not only just stay focused on the end goal. That is something that I had to learn, and something that I challenged one of my best friends with. Don't just look at the goal that you're trying to get to, but what has the journey been like, and what have been the absolute great joys of the journey, along with some of the days that aren't so great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's get to, there are two questions on the floor. I will ask this one first because it ties into dreaming. Dr. Perry asked, what are your dreams?
Oh
She said,
wow.
what is Tasha's dreams for herself?
Yes, I still have so many. Like, one of the things I would love to see is Lyric turn into a cartoon.
Mm,
And so I would love for it to be a cartoon that either gets picked up on like a streaming network and Netflix or something like that, or even if it's a YouTube channel, but it's popular enough that we need to keep making the cartoon. So that's one of my really big dreams, is to see the animation happen for Lyric.
wow. And Allie wants to know, what is the age range for your books? And do you plan on having Lyric grow up?
Oh, that's a good question. So right now, the Lyric books are for pre-K, kindergarten, not necessarily for them to read it because they're not necessarily at reading age at that time, but story time, with guardians and teachers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Lyric growing up, probably not. I probably won't have her grow up, but that doesn't mean there won't be a book or an animation episode where we dive into that world for an episode or so. Maybe there's something to explore there.
Yeah.
But there will be, some other books that will be for a different age range as well.
Wonderful. Before we, uh, I just want to shout out Abera Dawes. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes.
Now, when I say she illustrated the mess out of these books,
Love her. I love her. I love her.
listen,
Yes.
listen. I
We
mean,
spent a lot of time together during the pandemic getting the pictures right. And
amazing,
she is phenomenal.
and she took your words and really brought them to life.
She did.
Really brought this your words to life. So shout out to Abera Dawes.
Yeah, so she was making pictures. I said, if you draw the picture and I don't look at Lyric and go, oh my gosh, she's so cute, then that's not it. And we finally got to one, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute.
Oh, Allie says dream. Oh, that Lyric can be dreaming about what will happen when she grows up.
Yeah,
that's a great idea for for a future book.
Yeah.
So speaking of the future, what is next for you, and how can we support you?
Next for me, I'm still diving into this background vocals world and just exploring what that all of the things that come with that. Right now, I'm touring with Renee Elise Goldsberry, who was an original member of Hamilton, the musical, and I've been learning so much touring with her, and so I want to continue to explore that and arranging vocals, continue to do that. And I want to write more books. And so they're for a different age range. I want to do some poetry books for our children. That will be for a little bit for the older children. And I really just want to continue. I want to take all of the limits off of me that I placed on me, and really see what happens if I just allow myself to do what God said I can do and not what I think I can do. And so I just want to take those limits off and really just continue to explore the writing in the music industry.
Wonderful. And where can we find you
You
on
can
the web?
find me on Instagram. If you just want to just talk to me, just Tasha, and me just being silly as I'm always being. Miss Tasha Michelle on Instagram. It's just me. If you want to check out what's going on with the books on Instagram, that's Beanbag Stories on Instagram. And that's usually, where I'm at. And if you want to get the books, you could go to beanbagstories.com. That's the best place to buy the books because then you're actually buying directly from me. And so most of the profits will come to me for the books.
Wonderful. So I have put this link inside of the chat already, so you can just click on it and be sure to support Tasha. So we're gonna do, of course, again our book giveaway. She's gonna give away one copy each. I'm gonna give you one last time to get this pound Inspire in. One copy each of each of her books. So we'll have two winners. So we're gonna have two winners. And you will get one hard copy signed. Because somebody say signed. Signed copy. And listen, and so when Tasha just kind of blows up and she gets that cartoon and all the things that she want to do, you can say, "Listen, I got a signed copy."
People are serious about this signed copy. I'm like, it's just me. They're like, no, sign my book and stop playing.
All right, so let us listen. Okay, drum roll. Drum roll. I want to make sure I gave y'all enough time. So let's see who has won today. Hey, Trisha Turner. It says you have won. You're one of the winners. So we'll do another one, but you're one of the winners. So be sure to inbox me your address and stuff like that so I can get it to Tasha so she can mail you that book. And so let's see who our next.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Trisha. Tiffany Merrill, congratulations. Congratulations. You are our second winner. Be sure to inbox me with your address so you can send it to Allison. And Ali can send it to me so that we can make sure that you get your signed copy.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations, y'all. Congratulations. Well, oh my goodness, it has been such a pleasure.
It's been so fun. And I was acting right. Look at me acting right.
I was prepared.
I was acting right today. Because my mama popped in.
I was prepared for you not to listen, and you are always welcome to not act right because we'll have you back. I know we're going to have you back to talk more about the other books that are coming, and when this cartoon comes out, we'll definitely have you back because you are just the epitome of what can happen when you pursue your dreams, right? I mean, what you said was true. You pursue it, you will catch it.
Yes.
You pursue it, you will catch it. So thank you again, Tasha, for joining us, and I can't wait to have you back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations again.
Oh, thank you, and congratulations on all of the things you're doing. Ali says congratulations. Says congratulations to the winners. Dr. Perry says, what a nice morning with you both. We're so glad that you were hanging out with us. Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama Stephanie. Thank you for joining us. All of you, thank you for joining us again for Inspire. So I do want to remind you that next week, Saturday, we will not have an airing of Inspire. We will be live on Sunday, May 14th for Mother's Day. More information will be coming out about that during this week, but we're going to be talking about, we'll have a panel discussion on the traumas and the triumphs of Black motherhood. It is a special hybrid broadcast, so it will take place after at Rivers at our New Jersey service for Mother's Day. And so if you can't get to the church house, we want you in the virtual house. How about that? We will still be online, and we want to hear what you have to say. If you're a mother, if you're a mother figure, if you're a spiritual mother, right? Even if you're a guardian, right? You stand in this space as mother. We want to hear your thoughts on the traumas and the triumphs, and we want you to share some of your experiences with us. Let's come together. Let's talk about the traumas and the triumphs of Black motherhood. I'm so grateful that you have joined us. I can't wait to see you next week Sunday, right, for our hybrid broadcast. And until then, I want you to stay lifted. I want you to stay motivated, but most of all, I want you to stay inspired. Can't wait to see you next week. Peace out.